Big Sean, Big Sean, Big Sean. It's sad to see, man. If you don't know, Big Sean has had a freestyle type competition type situation with the likes of Absol and Joey Badass. Which in the middle of it, Joey Badass decided to not only go last, but also uh, start a whole beef with the West Side for some reason. And again, Big Sean is left in the dust. Again, Big Sean is not the vocal point of his own show. Again, he's been overshadowed by every other person that's on his song. It's really unsettling. And not even to bring up the infamous Control verse, which at this point, Control is completely forgotten that Big Sean was even a part of that moment because Kendrick stole the show from saying all the stuff that he said and how controversial it was. Again, Big Sean has continuously been outshined and out just outplayed in every single way from this one guy, Kendrick Lamar. For some reason, nobody can allow Sean to have his own little thing or have his own spotlight, and it's really unfortunate. It feels like Sean will always be the person that's kind of in left in the shadows of his predecessors. When, mind you, Big Sean came out during the Kendricks, during the Cole, during the whole time with Drake, and has seen so much success in his earlier works and throughout the years, but is still seen as the lesser of the big three and never really been in that conversation of being taken seriously to the point where he is probably one of the people that is the most deserving slash was most deserving of being inside that top three type conversation. But again, he has continuously been overlooked, underappreciated, and frankly hasn't necessarily have the album chops to even be compared to those guys. Say what you will about Drake, say what you will about Cole, say what you will about Kendrick, but their albums meant something to a lot of people. And unfortunately, I can't say the same thing about Big Sean. Now, Big Sean has had multiple moments in hip hop that made him seem like he was gonna be that next step, or it just felt like he was one album shy of being considered maybe even better or on the same par as a Kendrick Lamar. But unfortunately, he kept giving us misses after misses after misses to the point where people stopped taking him seriously. And then as recently, because he is independent and he has cut ties with what's his name, Kanye. It seems like he is getting blackballed, but also there's not a lot of hype around his name at the moment. Now he has just become a little bit irrelevant. And every time when he does make that or attempt to make that big comeback, it's always something to do with one of the big three. And usually it's always Kendrick stepping on whatever type of rollout or release or anything that he got going on. Like, for example, when he dropped his album I Decided, which was supposed to be his next big album and all that, that was the around the same time that Kendrick and Drake ended up getting inside that huge beef, and it stumped over his album, and it didn't necessarily help him sell any better. And honestly, I hate this for Big Sean. Big Sean deserves more. I think that he should have been in those conversations, but again, he also purposely allowed himself to be overshadowed and also just allowed himself to just stop making music. He took a long, 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 long break that not a lot of artists are able to do, and he suffered from it. And he also acknowledges that a lot of the reasons why he's not in those conversations because he didn't necessarily want to be in those conversations. That's why he continued to make obscure albums and albums that weren't necessarily, sought after or popular in the ways that he thought it was gonna be. But again, these are just my quick thoughts about Big Sean. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I just feel like he was probably one of the most he had the most potential to be something bigger than just a regular rapper. He had the chance to be one of the three, one of the big people that you think about when you're all like, oh man, if I say this person is rap, this person is rap. But Big Sean has continuously been overshadowed by bigger art acts. Maybe he's just not that polarizing of a figure in order to garner that much attention. But hey, it is what it is, I guess.